Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smiths in the Black channel here at Attcak, and if it's Tuesday, it's the Strat Attack show. Time to load up the urban assault vehicle and go see what we got here. So, starting off the new month, new quarter, and all that kind of stuff. Just by here, obviously we want to start these monthlies and make sure we know what's going on and where and when, all right? And so right now, as we open up the month of July, it's green on the month, so there's no real trouble. The real trouble wouldn't hit unless we take out 309.57, and we're not there right now. So if we go to weekly, now we're starting the conflict, and you can see these 3 weeks stuck inside of these two, right? And so we've got to get out of here. So what'll happen oftentimes when you get stuck like that, you get a broadening formation series. It starts over again, right? If you go to the daily, you're going to see this. Took this out. Right here. How do we get out of this, right? Because this is the series that started over in here with an outside bar because we got stuck in here. Here. All of this is inside of this. So that's when you have your new discovery start over, right? So we got to get out of there. So as of right now, we took out yesterday's lows and went down to here. So if we go to QQQ, we can see, didn't take out yesterday's lows yet. So the question is, are we going to do that, right? Are we going to come down and compound 3 outside bar? Because here's this series, which is a higher series than the SPY, like so. Does it keep blasting out of here? So the Qs as far as the week, still slightly green, but could come in. We'll see, because he had an outside week. That's something we want to know about if we get back into there, right? That's what I just showed you on the daily. So on the monthly, to really start to have some problems and change continuity, the opening was 247.66. We're nowhere near that right now. So we cross that bridge when we get to it. What we do have is what we do have is a lot of things involved with the Qs going inside day, right, or close to coming 2 back down. So it could be interesting tomorrow when you look at all the inside days like Roku and the crowd, Texas Instruments, PayPal. All this is going to have something to do with tomorrow, right? PayPal, Splunk, TTDW, some of these high flyers, a bunch of them all going inside day. And then we had Facebook doing this. Facebook completed this that we've been watching since the inside day down measured mover and then gap down reverse here. Now the question is that going to do that again? Because you got stuff like NVIDIA. I said like this Qs. So the question is, what's the next two? And because of the close, we closed a lot of things closed closer to the low. So not the end of the world, but the closest reversal on the dailies, as far as we can tell, would be back to the downside in a lot of this stuff. But we'll see how that goes. We have if we get gold, and gold had a nice day today here, and still trying to power higher on the month here. So a little bit in the weekly. Now that you have a nice day. So you can watch your usual suspects, your JNUG like that, and JNUG because of the split. But on the daily, still some nice moves in there to go after and stuff like that. So we'll see. Some of the upside stuff before I get to some of the potentially debacle-y stuff. Snap-on here. One of the things you want to look for, yes, we have exhaustion risk by going to the highs, but anything that's starting to take out last month's highs, right? And you can see Snap-on has a very nice broadening formation in here, and you can see that on the weekly. Here's what we look for in the weekly. Going back in here. As we're broadening formation, the tighter one, they grew and got bigger and took all this stuff out and gone. So this is what the continuations you look for. The up, the down, boom. These become an outside bar of that. So we'll see. If we go to Uber on the month. Oop, that's wrong. That's on the week probably. So the thing about Uber was just going to point out the, how is it differentiating a little bit from Lyft, who's having some problems. And so Lyft, on the downside here, if you can take this out on the downside, 30.55, you got some problems and it's almost there. At SQ, stay up nice and strong, but once again, exhaustion risk going into the highs. but you can see it didn't sell off much at the end of the day like everything else, but you do have exhaustion risk by going into those highs. We had ADP today. I'm sorry. APD here, having a nice day there, and that's, look at this, weekly launching up here. Once again, exhaustion risk on these highs, but having a nice day. We'll see if there's any follow through and stuff like Checkpoint. Had a nice day here in Checkpoint. The good thing about this is not going into the highs, right? And so that's good when you have a move like that and you're still coming back through the previous range. So we'll keep an eye on that. I had Walmart get the news and start going back up, and that's Rev Strat style. Inside month, then pokes down, then back up, and so that was pretty rapid. They blasted it pretty hard, but there were ways in. You wait for them to come in, then inside fiver and stuff like that. And if you get the 15, this was an inside 15 here, and you got your sub try here before going back here, stuff like that. So we'll see if Walmart continues, because we know Costco has been stuck in here forever in the monthly, but now trying to come out of at least these two, and that is a 3, so it's had its triangle activity. If you go to the daily, you'll see this. Take them out and then back through. So we'll see if the stores are coming up here. We got Overstock. Overstock picking up a little steam. We've known about this one for a while. Oh yeah, right there. Right there was your monthly reversal and no reverse back on it, and that was over 680, trading 45er, coming up through this stuff. And as that was happening, people were like, no, and I'm like, what's this? 48er, might as well take that out, right? And then we'll have to see what they want to do with this stuff. But nice broadening formation blaster off. Overstock still going. Tesla not going to have a tough time changing that month, and it just kind of stalls out towards the highs. So it's still obviously a good trading vehicle. It's just a little tough to keep it going at that pace, right? Obviously, with the virus, going to be watching a little NVAX. And NVAX got that boost today, so NVAX, you can see this monthly once again too. We knew about that right here, didn't we? We did. We did. Now it's up through here, and so we'll see if any more comes in here, because you got stuck in the opening 60-minute range. So that's essentially like an inside day. Outside of the opening, it was inside everything. There was a nice move off the 60 here, and then this came to be an outside compound bar, but stuck in that opening range, so we'll see. Some of the bios, crisp, having some nice moves here, and still nice and bright green on the week. So we'll see, because some of those bios did back off later in the day. AL and Y. So here's what we look for then. Take out the previous range high, the low, and then boom, these become an outside bar of that, which it already did. So we'll see. So that's one sector that still has some good hope here, even after a sell-off in the afternoon. Problems we got going in some of the sectors. You get financials, and you're starting to do this. Oops. And some of the financials, Bank of America, taking out last month's lows. That's a problem, right? And so you want to keep looking at Citicorp, not quite there. Wells Fargo does. JP Morgan here, so we'll see if like Goldman Sachs gets to do it. They're not doing it right now, but you've got also LNC here. So we can watch KIE here too, because that's getting closer with the insurance names. And a lot of those are there. Allstate, taking out last month, shows HIG right there. AIG. So keep an eye on that stuff. And you got Zion Bancorp, also in the regionals, taking that out. So that sector definitely having some problems. And also want to watch some pandemic stocks, your CCLs, trying to take it out and watch to see if RCL does that. Boeing's nowhere near doing it, but we can take a look at here on the weekly. Like so, see if we can take that weekly out. Might get something going here, because there's not a lot of good things going on in there. Dominion and the utilities taking out last month's lows, and we can expect this kind of stuff. And this is what we want to be aware of, is like when you have this inside quarter like this, and this is what we are in the SPY too. So that's why we're watching, but we're not as close as we were for the utilities. But like I said, that internal triangle that starts over, yeah, once you come up here, and you didn't get out of here, and this is an inside bar, boom, takes that out, right? Now the question is going to be weak enough to take that out, right? And so if we look at XLU, Here, it hasn't done it yet, but if it goes into here, then we'll start talking about Utes getting pounded. You've got Cardinal Health here, taking out last month's lows. You can see like these three stuck on these two, right? So here, below Cardinal Health, below 50, 43's got some problems. You've got Lockheed Martin going after last month's lows. Also, it's inside weak and down. And you can see here's this internal triangle and stuck in here, right? Okay, so we can watch that with Northrop Grumman, General Dynamics, all your faves of General Dynamics, also inside weak and down. And the REITs, VNO, here, monthly, taking this out, right? That's a problem. Watch VNQ. If that does it, then you got a lot more problems over there, right? So we'll keep an eye on that going forward during the month. XLE, right there. XLE and XOP, these energies, and OIH, still all sorts of problems if we can take out last month's lows. So there, it's like we watch NBR, some of the bigger names that'll move around, even though that's deteriorated. Concho, PXD, well, all that kind of stuff to see if that kicks in. You can watch the majors too. Chevron right there, Exxon going after last month's lows, and you got a neural number coming out tomorrow. And crude itself just kind of stuck in here, so we'll see. Motorola, so you got Helmerich Payne also in the OIH going after last month's lows, and Valero watching the refiners too, takes out last month's lows. So got some issues over there. A Motorola also taking out last month's lows problem, Strat. So we'll see if we can get out of all this 4 months in here. But anytime you're under that, you got problems, and especially when time frame continuity kicks to the downside. GoDaddy taking out last month's highs, wasn't strong enough to come take this out, right? And so this is inside of all that, right? Back and forth she goes. If we go to Burlington Retail, that's an inside month to the downside, so we want to be aware of that. Below 190.96. DraftKings, that's below last month's lows too here, so we can keep an eye on stuff like that. So we won't waste too much time, but we're certainly starting to see some motion here to start off the month. The question is follow through. Can these techs with all these inside days go to the upside and keep blasting, because they came out the chute here this month, going back into the Teslas and all that kind of stuff. The question is, that cool off, and then if the market starts to back off to some of this pandemic stuff, financials, oils, also, do these things get hit? So we'll see. It's early in the month, and that's why we do it every week. All right, it's going to do it for this week. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith and the Black channel here. Ticker Tacker with the Strat Attack.